What's going on, guys? I'm here with one of our clients, Joe, who just closed a $16,000 retainer 6 weeks into the program. What's going on, Joe? How are you?
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
What is going on, man? For anybody who doesn't know you, do you mind just giving us a little bit of backstory of like yourself, how you got into this, and like a little bit about yourself?
I've got a weird eclectic background. So I'm a visual effects artist and 3D animator. I started doing
Nice.
my children's programming back in the late '90s, and I actually went from doing educational animation to forensic animation in the legal field.
Oh,
And I
wow.
did that for a long time, but a lot of people don't know. A lot of that kind of work kind of dried up because things used to go to trial a lot, but then insurance companies got involved, so everything ends up settling now. So there's not as much need of that kind of stuff as there was back then. So I pivoted into marketing and got into doing video production, animation, visual effects, stuff like that in the marketing, working for different companies. And for the last 8, 9 years or so, I was the marketing director at an IT company, and I figured out a pretty good system that I like to use that got good results for that company. And just figured I would quit making them money and try to make my own money for a little while.
Absolutely. How long have you been in business for yourself at this point?
Less than a year.
Okay, wow. That's awesome. I wish I
Yeah.
had closed a 16K deal less than a year in,
Well,
honestly.
when I first talked to you guys, I'm if I'm a big believer in, like, I could have probably figured it out in 3 or
Yep.
4 years, but I don't see any reason to take 3 or 4 years if somebody else has
Yeah.
already got it figured out.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. Like you guys, everyone who comes into this program is super smart. Like everyone knows what they're doing. It's a shortcut, right? Because I've paid a
Yeah.
lot of mentors for myself too. And I'm like, yeah, I could probably figure this out, but I'd rather just like pay someone who already has it. And then I can make 10 times as much money in the amount of time that I would have been figuring it out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I guess like what was kind of the biggest problem you had prior to jumping into the program? What did you kind of come in for originally?
The biggest problem, well, I don't know if I had a problem exactly, but the biggest solution has been in structuring offers. That's been big, eye-opening. I definitely, and kind of getting out of that technician space has been a little difficult. But just understanding how to build value with offers, how to kind of set them up so that you have other areas to go to.
Right.
And then, of course, and then the sales training kind of goes hand in hand with that,
Yeah.
figuring out how to, it would have been, I mean, before it was all about if somebody had an idea, then you talk to them for a long time and come up
What's
with a
your
quote,
budget?
and
What do you want to
figure out
do?
a
Yeah.
budget, and you'd
Yep.
spend 6 weeks just getting to a point where they say, well, that's too expensive.
Right.
And it was, and
More
then
of like
you
an
had-
order taker, kind of waiter to their needs, as opposed to being like a doctor who's diagnosing someone's problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then you don't have anywhere to go either, because
Right.
like if you give them a pitch that's X amount of money and they say no, and you spent 6 months working on it, you can't just say, oh well, then let me give you a different offer. It's like, well, then what was all this other stuff for?
Yeah. So having more of like a templated out offer sheet where it's not copy paste, but it's more streamlined to where you can just go to any, because you serve lawyers obviously. So it's like you can go to any kind of lawyer or law firm and be able to go and copy paste that and not have to like reinvent the wheel coming up
Right.
with all these crazy ideas.
Yeah, it's that structure, and then fitting them into. I mean, but that's kind of like the McDonald's structure,
Right.
isn't it? I mean, it's like you do one thing really well, and then
Yep.
you just optimize it.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, and it's more of a productized service. So you have product on one end, and then you have service on the other. And it's like what a lot of people are doing is they're using that super productized, customized service, and like it's taking a ton of time. Whereas you want to find that kind of middle ground between the two, to where you have something that's not fully a product, but it's more productized than just having a plain
Yeah,
service.
that's it exactly. Yeah, and then I mean, that was the biggest eye opener for me, was in developing the offer and finding all, like, I would have, if you'd have asked me 6 months ago what's my offer, I would have said like shooting video or editing video or something like that. Like it,
Yeah.
but now
But
I've
instead,
actually
now you're
got-
solving a problem for a company.
Yeah,
That's what you do.
solving
Yeah.
a problem, and here's how I solve the problem.
Yep.
And
Well, I think it's a
forth
big
and so
shift
on.
for a lot of people, because I was obviously a DP for many years, and like you don't think about that when you're just the craftsman or the technician. You're
Yeah.
just like, I shoot and edit. That's what I do. It's not like I'm not solving an actual problem. I am, but it's different, you know?
And that's, it's a little bit of I don't know what the right word is for it. It's a little bit of an ego hit where it's like, it doesn't matter how good you are at this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, they want results. They don't want the best DP. Like, they could care less.
Yep, exactly. I know it is. It's a huge ego hit, and people prefer to just ignore it and be like, no. I'm just going to focus on being the best. But it's like, you can be the best, but if you're not actually getting your clients any sort of result, what are we doing? Like, That's why they're paying you. They want a result. It's like, you go to a doctor and like they have the best scalpel in the world, but you're still not, like, your illness isn't solved. It's like, I don't care. Like, I don't care how good your tools are, or like, how sharp you can make a cut or whatever. It's like, I just care about getting better and feeling better, and I want a result. That's it.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Which is huge. I guess, was there any reason why you kind of went with our program over maybe another program? Or was there anything that caught your eye, or maybe there was no reason at all? Like, I guess, what kind of drew you in, and how'd you find us?
I liked, like I say, I've been in marketing for a long time.
Yeah.
I liked your methodology that you use to sell your own services. Just your overall, the ads were good. They were well structured. I can't remember who I talked to initially, but he was helpful. He was supportive.
I think you talked to Danny on our team. I think it was Danny.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
And he was consultative. And then, of course, lots of social proof along the way. Helpful
and then just me never
options.
leaving you alone in your Instagram and Facebook feed and being annoying. Yeah, I got it.
I like retargeting ads.
Me too.
Everybody complains about them, but like they work like nothing else.
They really do. Absolutely, man.
I've been excited about that. I haven't started running my own ads yet, but I've been really excited about, because I did ads. I mean, I was doing Meta ads for companies, like when Meta first started, back when it was just Facebook.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited about, building that structure. So that's the other thing that I'm dealing with right now, because I closed this client. So now it's like, okay, now I've got to actually like figure out, because I haven't actually I've sketched out what my onboarding process and everything is.
Yep.
But I haven't actually like completely fleshed it out. So now I've got like a whole new set of problems.
Every solution creates a new problem at every level. It's just you never have no problems in business. That's just how it is. You just do it. But it's a good problem to have. It's like, cool, now I got money, and now I got some cash from reactivation. Now I'm ready to put that back into my new system that I'm going to set up, and now I can figure out the onboarding, the client journey, and all that fun stuff.
And then you only have to do it once. I mean, I know you have to iterate, but once I create those spreadsheets and those onboarding documents, those onboarding videos, then I get my next retainer client in a week or two, and then I just got to hit play on all that.
And then the machine just runs, and that's the beautiful part about it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah. I had a buddy of mine. He used to always joke. He said, in business, you only graduate to a higher class of problems.
It's exactly right. Yeah, you have, because it's like, and then you're managing a team of people, and now you got people problems, and now you can't find enough people, and it's like it just keeps going up and up and up and up at every level, which
just don't ignore those problems along the way. I've been in companies like that.
Right. Exactly. Absolutely. And last question, Joe. I guess, knowing what you know now, I guess what advice would you give someone if maybe they're on the fence about just booking a call or just speaking with the team and seeing if it is a fit for them?
Well, definitely just do it. But like I said, like if somebody's already done what you want to do and they're willing to tell you how to do it, then pay for it,
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, Joe, I'm excited to do another one of these once we've gotten everything set up. You're just literally 6 weeks in, so I'm very excited for the rest of it. We'll do another one of these and have some big numbers on that, and we'll roll from there.
Yeah, absolutely.